from where you are connecting, your educational background, and if at all any work experience you have.
Yeah, so I am based in New Jersey. I'm in Edison, New Jersey, and I've been in the US since 2014 now. My background is I've done MBA in sales and marketing, so I definitely have a non-tech background, but my entire profile has also been non-tech, mostly in business development roles. So this is like my first time I'm understanding the business analyst course, Agile and Scrum. I have watched a couple of videos before, but this topic is of course new to me. So
All
that's
right. Yeah, thank you, Seep, for sharing that, and welcome to Guru Schools. A quick advice that because you were not available yesterday, we had,
Mhm.
uh, although it was introductory session, but I would recommend you to attend that recording as if you are attending it live. Okay, every single minute, and that was important as we set the context. So that recording will be provided today or maximum by tomorrow. Okay, and there it is also mentioned how frequent you get the recording after the session. Okay,
Sure. Yeah,
okay,
thank
brilliant. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining well in time. So I appreciate you all who really uh, aligned your clock with this session today. And I appreciate you all for showing up. So let's get started. Before we jump in to the topic, what we are going to learn today, is a quick reminder needed for all of us that how we are going to learn. So as you knew yesterday that we shared about Agile. Agile is full of ceremonies, and that demands you to show up live, be it remote or in person. Always remember you are going to show up live as a Scrum practitioner or Agile practitioner. When we say Agile is full of ceremonies, you know that it means that full of meetings. And each time you show up on time, remain punctual, and be highly committed. In case you are not the practitioner of it, consider this training itself as a project and showcase these traits, and eventually you will get to see that you are able to demonstrate once you get placed, because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And while you are doing so, remember you chose to learn as well, despite your vast background. You became a student, but we want you to be the full stack student who does all the assignments, be it said or unsaid. What is said and unsaid assignment? For that, please refer to yesterday's recording, who do the self-research and repeat what they learn. That makes you full stack student. And while you do so, you remember and realize that what exactly is going to happen while you are doing that. You are able to finish what you start, you are able to hit the success because of it. But when you don't even when you don't even start what you wanted to attain, or even if you start, you just leave it in between, that is not becoming unfavorable. So but you can take the full responsibility when you hit the success. And because you hit the success doesn't mean that you can't take the full responsibility of what you did not even begin, or you just leave in between. It means, I mean to say that when you take the full responsibility and credit of your success because you uh, did do the hard work to achieve that, please also point or say realize that when you hit the failure because you did not do what was expected to do, so can you please take the full responsibility of failure as well? And when you will do that, what you would realize that when you embrace it, you acknowledge it, and you accept it, you may go back and correct it, that what was the cause of failure. And when you fix it, when you correct it, you would realize that failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success. But to do so, it really requires a concrete mindset. The very first one is lean Kaizen. That means the continuous improvement, and for that you need to have the learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positive minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more complaint free, in a way that you would have the power to deliver any project with the stringent timeline, and even despite the lack of resources sometime. And if you could do it again and again and again, you would develop a really gratitude for your own powerful habit. and that leads to the highest level of productivity. But while you do so, remember to be the giver. Many of you are coming from the already previous knowledge, and especially for those who have the prior knowledge in these topic, who think that you don't need to attain this, but despite that you are in this classes, just for refreshing, remember to be the giver as a new learner, as a relearner. And while you do so, remember to keeping ego away on the path of learning makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. When we say spiritually grounded, means that your happiness level enhances, and happiness is today's new productivity, and that's the demand of the corporate. While you do so, you remember and realize that you are not here just to learn, also you are here to earn more. And it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And for that very reason, if you are already earning, can you start giving away 5% or 10% of your earning to the causes wherever you believe in? And in case you are not earning, can you have an intention that you will give away once you get place, even at least 5% or 10% of your earning? The causes could be feeding hungry children, or donating to orphanages, or donating to old age home, or to temple, churches, mosque, or gurudwara. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that none of you are here for the survival, but for the growth. And while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even it does not seem like initially these acts are helping you out, continue to do so eventually, because it is said that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And while you do so, remember, we are, whenever starting a new learning, start always your day with the highest level of receptivity. The very first one we have spoken about, that is your enrollment to a complimentary audio program. That's the 30 days challenge. What is it is all about, how you can participate into it, the details have been provided in today one's recording. Please refer to that and ask for this 30 days challenge. That's the recommendation, and because it is recommendation, that is not mandate. But yeah, definitely you can just send me message 30 DC, and I'll be happily providing you the way to start listening to this. The benefit of this is that every single day, every single outcome will result in a very, very, very positive result, whatever you decide. And the catch is that you will have to restart even if you miss in any single day. And because we will be heading now also towards the deep learning. Remember, any technical and any functional learning, you must follow these golden quadrant of learning, which comes with the 4 easy steps. And when it comes to 4 easy steps, what is important in it? When you follow it as a T, trust me, you will once repeat it thrice, you will realize yourself by following this, you are becoming almost expert from a novice in a very lesser time, like up to within a week's time or something like that. How it is going to be, I will let you experience this. Let me quickly tell you that what all 4 steps come in this golden quadrant of learning. The very first one is declaration with the anchor. What is declaration and anchor, and importance of it, and science behind it? I have already spoken about it in day one's recording. Please refer to that. Then we will take a deep dive into the second step, that is deep learning. And once these 2 steps are done over here, you will go back for the third step, that is after 24 hours, using pen and paper, you will recall everything what you have learned prior day, recalling from your memory, scribble it out in the piece of paper, the way you want to draw that, and flaunt that drawing back while shooting a summary video. That's the self-facing video recording, where you are summarizing everything you have learned just in less than 90 seconds of video, or maximum it can go up to 3 minutes. The catch is that you have to summarize in a way that even 5 years old can understand. Why you need to video shoot? Because you are getting and heading into customer facing role. Okay. And you are getting into communicative role, where you will be facing lot many stakeholders. And so let's get started for this. And how we are going to do is that declaration with the anchor. What will we be declaring? So this is what is the first step to declare the selected statement, and what will be the anchor on it. So I'll be counting 1, 2, 3, and self high five. That's a quick clap. Just now you heard on your speaker, and you need to model me. So I'll be just putting this anchor, and then I'll be reading this selected statement on your screen, and you are going to repeat after me. So please unmute yourself and say yes if you all can see me, see the selected statement on your screen. Just say yes if you all can see that.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you, thank you. Kindly model me now, whatever the act I'm going to do with the anchoring. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
I'm
quick
a
I'm a quick
quick
learner.
learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
others
can
can
learn
learn
and
and
master,
master,
I too can do that.
I
I
too
too
can
can
do
do
can do
that.
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 One more time with the next statement. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because I'm a quick
Because
learner,
I
A
am
I'm a
quick
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 learner.
learner,
learner.
today's learning is going to be
today's
Today's
learning is
learning
going
is
to be
going to
is
be
going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy.
Super
super
duper
duper
easy.
easy to me.
Yes, it is going to be. Thank you so much for repeating this. And because you said so, it is going to be. And remember how we are going to remain connected every single Sunday at 10 p.m. EST, Monday again at 10 p.m. EST, Tuesday, never miss RRP session. That is your gateway to placement. Also, the Thursday, you need to repeat both of the session, which enhances your visibility, credibility, and marketability. In case you have prior knowledge in the subject, from day one you can start attending RRP session because your focus is towards placement. Okay, this is the forum where you can escalate anything. If you want to complain about anything, you can do that. If you want to put any concern, opinion, this is the forum. Because with the as a trainer, me and Prerna, both the trainers are going to give you support only related to content and teaching only. We can't help on anything else. But RRP is the forum where you are there to speak out. You are there to, work on your profiling, work on your marketing, work on your placement with the help of HR and RRP team. Wednesday, you need to do the assignment from the learning of Sunday, be it said or unsaid assignments. Friday, you are going to work on the assignment from the learning of Monday. Saturday, you can choose to relax or have a breather day, or still, if you want to do your own research in any topic to go in depth of it, please do that and prepare any question that you want to answer on the next technical session, that is on Sunday. Then this is the day you can choose, and repeat whatever you have learned. So when we say that repeat, it means that recording will be provided to you. When the recording can be provided, maximum turnaround time is the 48 hours for receiving any recording after the session, of course. And it means that before 48 hours it's okay if you're not asking or reminding, but even after 48 hours, if you don't receive your recording, please feel free to drop a message in the group that you have not received your recording. But generally these recordings are coming from the different team who works on converting the recording, rendering it to in a uploadable form, and then making it available over YouTube. And when they do these all effort in the background, they would also require some motivation from you. Just hitting a like onto those referring videos and putting simple comment onto that hashtag replay, something like that. It means that you are referring to the replay and everything else. They feel motivated and continue to do so. But yeah, because you said yesterday that you all would require a recording, this is what would be considered as a humble request as well as a responsibility to keep them moving towards helping you all to provide this recording as well. So this is how we are going to remain connected, and this is how it is going to be your code of honor and core guidelines as well as responsibility to follow. And with this note, let's continue from where we had left off. We were looking at agility. We were looking at business analysis, core differences we learned yesterday. And also we learned that what was the point from where Agile got introduced. Prerna explained about it. But when you start learning about agility, one more word you often get to hear, and this word is called as uh, flexibility. So what is difference between agility and flexibility? So before even I talk about that, let me quickly tell you that what you should be considering in your mind. So uh, you remember that you are here for what purpose? To get placed as a business analyst, number one. Do you all agree with me? Yes, say yes if you are, you all are there with
Yes.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Or if
Yes.
not business analyst, you have the power to become Scrum Master because you
Scrum
are getting
Master.
into that training. Yes, because this is the combo where we learned yesterday when Scrum or Agile you consider as the foundation, then business analysis is the pillar for today's software delivery. Okay. And this is one approach. Second, if you put some extra effort in learning, you will have the potential and ability to even become the product owner. With me so far, everyone? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you for your answers. Appreciate
Yes.
it. So, if you will have these power to either become product owner or Scrum Master or business analyst, then you would also require one quick hack, which I feel it's my responsibility to tell you that you would never ever learn in any kind of recorded, non-recorded, or any live courses or training program that I'm going to tell you now. And this is few element you would be knowing already. And I will be plugging this information as an insight within you that how it is quite crucial what I'm going to talk about. And this is about Agile comes with manifesto. How many of you know that Agile comes with its manifesto where its own principle and values are mentioned? Are you aware of this? About Agile Manifesto? Yes, no? Few of you would be knowing, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
No.
yes, few of you know. So Agile comes with its own manifesto and it explains its principle and values. Likewise, within Agile, there is a framework which also have its own core values. Okay, so this is an information you can keep it with yourself. Yesterday and today, when we started our class, we started with our own core values. Okay, so Agile has its own core values, the class has its own core values, and Scrum has its own core values. And wherever you are going to join, you might have even observed, even if you have not joined any company, or tomorrow you are going to join any company, or you have worked in the past in any company, how many of you have noticed that these company mention their core values and principle at the top of their reception or sometime even at website they talk about it? Have you noticed these in past earlier?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone might have noticed, I believe so. Right? Priyanka, Swarupa, Sayyad, Preet, Sumati, Aarti, Seep,
Yeah, yes,
Sweta,
yes.
Vijay, Dara, everyone. Yeah, everyone. Thank
Yes.
you. So now the core point over here is that now that the methodology or framework you are going to use, they talk about core values. When we talk about the companies, they talk about their core values. When we talk about the classes, it talks about its core values. And if you are getting into project, it is quite crucial, dear future product owner and your future Scrum Master, you define your project's core value. Okay. So if you won't define your project's core value, there are chances it may deviate from its goal. That's number one. Number two, before you even define your project's core value, I want you to recommend to define your own personal core value as well. Okay, so a quick tip on defining core value is that you cannot live without few trait, few element, or few exercise or demonstration or few habits. Okay, and that has to be positive and supporting. Okay, so this is how we define the core values. So this is the quick tip and quick hack to making any subject or project successful. Okay, so please remember this, and this is going to help you in a longer term. No one is going to talk about it, but there are chances in future. The Scrum Guide or PMBOK, Project Management Body of Knowledge, they are going to recognize whatever I have said, that defining the project's core value is quite crucial. With me so far, everyone? Before we start today's
Yes.
content learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is a quick tip, quick guideline, and let's go ahead with learning. I just started with the word agility and flexibility. Let's quickly learn the difference between it. Okay, so it says this, that agility and flexibility, for both the words which we are using in the project, okay, the goal remains the same, but they differ when it comes adapt to the change. Okay, so before I proceed, quickly, can you just say yes, that you all can see the screen?
Yes, we can see
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
brilliant. Thank you so much for your responses. So when we say agility, so remember, whenever we are referring to agility, it means that it has the confined time frame. It has fixed time to start, fixed time to end. Okay. The core purpose behind this agility is that it is fast moving. The core difference is that you expect a quick reaction from the stakeholder. When we say fast moving, means it has to be rapid, delivery oriented approach, as well as it attracts a faster reaction or feedback from the stakeholder. So that's the core purpose behind the agility. When we say flexibility, it means that it will move steadily with its own time. Customer may take their own time to respond to, and it has no time limit. Okay, I will go more in detail about it to learn. Then here it is. I want to invite someone as a volunteer to read this bullet point for me, please.
Agility and flexibility are common interchange, but they are not the same.
Okay, could you please complete this, Priyanka?
Okay. When referring to flexibility is generally mean scheduling or planning for an unforeseen development. These types of developments are usually unexpected surprises, but businesses can plan for them and make room in their regular businesses procedures for adoptions as necessary. So, when referring to agility is usually mean being able to respond to unplanned for or unscheduled external circumstances in more effective way by delivering best possible desired output.
Yeah, thank you so much, Priyanka, for reading this out for me. I appreciate it. Yes. So what you said, that agility and flexibility, why we introduced even flexibility, because you will get to see that in the agile industry, these two words are commonly used and interchanged. Okay. So we need to understand the basic differences. So whenever you will happen to hear or see, or you yourself find referring to this word flexibility, it means we are talking about the scheduling or any unforeseen development, if at all are taking place, we are going to address that. Okay, and these are generally unexpected, not very common, but it impacts the businesses. It impacts the businesses, it also impacts the plan. Okay, and when we are very closely working in the agile world, we are more towards the adapting the changes whenever it is needed. It all goes well with the flexibility, but go with its own time. But when it comes to agility, it means that uh, things may be unplanned. Okay, requirement may continue to change due to various reasons, due to external or internal circumstances, but it has to be delivered in a best possible best possible way with the desired output. But you are not just adding the software, a functional software, to the customer, but also you are adding value to them. What you are adding? Also, you are adding what? What did you? Value to them.
Value.
Yeah. So when you are approaching as a staff member, as a worker, or as a product owner, scrum master, or business analyst, you keep on asking your own self that how you can add value to the project. Okay. When we say add value, it doesn't mean that adding an extra feature. Even the intent you will have to add the value will work, will impact the very magical result in terms of clients receiving their own product, because uh, the kind of a work you would put or the kind of effort you would put, that indirectly impacts their end user. Okay, and with such intention, the flaw or error gets reduced because you become more careful towards development. If you are working as a coder, you become more careful when you are working as an analyst or business analyst. You will become more careful in identifying the errors or flaw well before delivery if you are working as a tester or QA. Okay. So let's understand this more in detail about agility and flexibility. Okay. So to, okay. Uh, can someone else read the first two bullet points for me, please, here?
When a business is agile, it can respond to a wide variety of unexpected external surprises. However, a flexible business may only be able to respond to already hypothesized situations.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anushri, for reading this out. Appreciate it. Okay, so now just now we get to know that business is agile, then wide variety of unexpected external change it we need to respond to. So a quick hack or quick fix or say quick tip for you is that you as a future business analyst even your focus should be adapting the change, towards encouraging the change, because yesterday we also got to know about one very important thing that if you are not adapting or addressing to the change, I don't know whether it was in this class or in the different class, if you are not focusing towards the change, you will be sitting idle, and that could be stake to your job as well. To if you are sitting for the longer, I think that I had given the example of 7 not in this class. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to repeat this. Imagine you are a business analyst bringing the business again and again because your focus is to encourage customer to adapt the changes. Thereby, they are always ready to upgrade themselves, and that's the reason they are agreeing on the proposed changes for for them to upgrade, which is going to ultimately impact their own client and thereby their business growth too. And if they are growing as a business, that is bringing more business for your organization as well as bringing work for you and your peers too. Okay. And in case you are not able to do so, what is going to happen? After the project, you will be sitting idle, and long-term ideal situation may result to what? Sitting
Fire.
long fire. Okay, that's the obvious result. So it becomes now the responsibility of business analyst as well to focus towards the changes, respond to those changes, and encourage customer to adapt to them, because first you need to adapt these in the mind, and that's the reason agility has been termed as a game of mindset. With me so far, everyone? Say yes if you registered this. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Appreciate it. So that's number one. But when it comes to the flexible business, okay, not necessarily here you are going to immediately or later you are going to respond to it. It is some kind of responses you will see here or happen to witness here, that customer itself is talking about, okay, we want to do it, but we will tell you when we want to do it. Okay, and it may go to the endless timeline. Okay, can I invite someone to read the another two bullet points for me? Third and fourth.
Yeah.
I
Being flexible leads to success when a predicted event occurs, while being agile will assist businesses who face unpredictable circumstances. Agility or being relates more to strategic agility, thus impacting customer or competitive, whereas flexibility relates to tactical flexibility in that their strategic objectives are clear, but methods and options to achieve them are open.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for reading this out. So now we are focusing here that when you are flexible, then ultimately in what situation that will lead to the success. Sometime you are predicting, okay, you can predict the risk. You can predict if risk already involved, how it can be mitigated. Okay, so sometime if it is predicted, that may lead to the success. But when you are agile, uh, you will be assisting the entire business who will undergo the unpredictable circumstances, because you foresee that. When you foresee that, what all risks are rolling out, and what is your mitigation plan for that, that is already in this place, and that doesn't come as a surprise to you. Okay. And when we are talking about agility, we are already planning it in more strategic way. Okay, and that's the reason it is uh, connecting to strategic agility. Okay, and when we are already for planning this and foreseeing the risk, and planning is mitigation, it impacts all the customers involved, if one or many, and also their competition too. Okay, because here, with this approach, what agile is simply towards disrupting the market, disrupting the trend. Okay, when we say trend to disrupt, does it mean that we will go beyond the trend? No, it means we are adding innovation into the tradition. Okay, and that's the reason we call it as a disrupting the trend into the market when adopting the agility, that power it has. Okay, and when we are talking more inclusion towards the flexibility without timeline, and still going with the solution with the endless timeline, we have to be more tactical over here. And our objective may differ, or sometime we will be having the we will be looking for such help to keep a strategic objective in the place. But sometime goal may be clear, but we may deviate the path to achieve them. Sometime it can be longer than expected, and thus there are chances that it may not always be on time. So that's the reason we recommend that, okay, you can be flexible towards the goal, but firm towards you can be flexible towards your route, but firm towards your goal. And that's when flexibility can help you to be agile as well. Okay, is it clear to you when we say that be firm towards your goal but flexible towards your route? When I say, it means that now let me give you some brilliant example with this, how it can help you. Imagine you have already worked in some agile setup in one company for one project. Okay, and tomorrow, if you are going to join a company, you are joining that new company with the existing belief that you carried by working in the previous company for longer years. Okay, so in this company, what had happened in the previous company, you saw that they had been flexible, and as a matter of fact, sometimes they felt that to produce the rapid releases and faster delivery, they tend to skip some certain ceremonies. Okay, and that was, say, for example, sometimes they skip the review meeting, because um they saw that this your time duration, or the sprint first cycle duration is quite lesser. In one of uh, delivery, they failed to do this ceremony as a review or demonstration to the client, because they thought that two cycle they will club it and demonstrate it. In some of the release, what they found, that they skip one retrospective meeting, that is just to reflect back meeting, where you come together, you just ponder upon that, or in last delivery how we did do, and any learning was there, so they missed it. Okay, and this is how it was happening in the previous company. You were just calling it agile and learning, adapting. But the good point was that every single time client had appreciated your approaches, and they appreciated the work you have delivered, and they appreciated and awarded you as well as a hard worker or employee of the week or something. You happen to receive such awards from the company as well. Now you join a new company, and you are seeing that, and you have joined as a product owner. And in this company, there is one new practice set in, to which we call it as the Scrum Practitioner center of community, or we call them as a community of Scrum practitioner, or center of excellence of Scrum. These people are sitting and they're making sure and alerting you that you are not going to skip any single Scrum or Agile practices, and they are always pointing you towards following all the ceremonies and abiding by sprint retrospective, or say that all the ceremonies generally happens in the Agile world. Now you may wonder, in my ex company, no one really followed it like how they are telling. How come they are introducing new ones? So if you have worked in your ex company for 3 years, and in the fourth year you migrated to the new company, this will become quite uneasy for you, because the earlier company was quite flexible towards delivering the project. However, here you are asked to follow every single practices of the Agile, not to skip any single thing. So you may tend to blame that this is not how I have worked earlier. That's number one. Or number two, a scenario is that it may happen vice versa, that you joined earlier company for 3 years where every single practices had been followed, and in the new company you had been asked, okay, for now we are not going to do this retrospective because our focus area is this. Let's have a casual reflect back meeting where we will be seeing that anything that we need not to miss in the next delivery. You may also wonder that how this setup is working differently rather than how I worked in the earlier company. So in both the cases, you are going to blame the new company where you have joined, because you are not used to follow such rules. With me so far, did you understand both the scenario? In one scenario, what happened in the previous first example, you missed few practices in the previous company, and in new company you were forced to follow all the practices. That is scenario number one. Scenario number two, in your first company you followed all the practices as a T, as a part of Agile, and in the new company you are asked to not to follow certain thing and focus more towards the delivery. In both ways, if you are not certified, or you have just born in the Agile world, it will be quick shock to the mind, and bringing more uneasiness and uncomfort for you to continue further. Okay, so that will create question and conflict inside your mind to continue to with that company, and will take more time to adjust with that company. With me so far, everyone, are you able to understand what I mean to say?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now here you need to understand this concept. Which concept? The concept of agility and flexibility. So to adapt the changes, okay, in one company, somewhere you have become flexible, and somewhere you have gone completely agile. Okay, and this is the reason such thing happens. And you have read lot of things, you have read about agility, you have been certified, and then you happen to meet similar kind of a person as a peer in a new company, and your talk will turn like this is not how Agile works. Okay, because you have missed the power of flexibility as well. You said right, but at the same time you did not understand the objective through which this company or project is following towards the project delivery. So there you have to remind yourself about this agility and flexibility. So if you have understood this, now is the time to understand the manifesto of Agile, what it says. Okay, so let's go ahead. And Agile Manifesto has its own, what Agile Manifesto has its own website, and you can go to scrum.org and you can find that it has talked about four values and 12 principles. How many values? Agile has how
Four
many
values.
values?
Four
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 values.
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 And how many
Four values.
principles?
12.
12.
12
12.
principles.
Yeah. And
12.
you need to remember them, okay? Because the entire project may circulate around it. Okay, so because the question that depends upon how uh, deeply you study between the line, you understand between the line when it says. So let's understand the first one. So can you all read along with me what you read the first one, what it says? Yeah, start.
Individuals,
Individuals and
Individuals and interactions over
over
process and
process
tools.
and tools.
over processes and tools.
Tools. That's right. So here, okay, tools are there. Now we need to understand this. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Tools are important. Okay. We need to understand that processes as well are important. But even more important is the interaction with the individuals. Okay. So imagine taking this training itself as a project I happen to see during our start of the class when I remind you with the um, code of honor, our learning code of honor. So there I say, consider the training itself as a project. When I say that, it means that, okay, we will consider this as a project. It means that it will continue to happen. This project will continue to happen. This training will continue to happen. Sometime it may happen that from the starting, okay, before I even talk about it, let me know this thing. How many of you remember in last year or so, something had happened for a time period, the entire meta ecosystem was down. Facebook was down, WhatsApp was down. It was for a few hours or so. You remember? Anyone remember here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that happened. Although it is different thing that it resulted in the huge loss of the stakes when it comes for the meta due to business. But at the same time, if everything was down, did you see the communication mode was still on? Not through the meta, but still, how did you get to know that, okay, globally meta was down? How did you get to know?
News?
During those hours, meta's all ecosystem like Facebook was down, WhatsApp was down, and that happened for a few hours. And this downtime itself, you got to know this is not just happening with me, this is happening with everyone in this entire world. How did you have this information?
We
Many
asked
of
around, everybody told us like then,
Yeah. Either you interacted with people, that's number one, of course. And second, if even if you are staying at alone, you will happen to know because you don't have just Meta, you don't have just Facebook, you don't have just WhatsApp, you have different channels as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what
It was there on the news also.
plus these were on news as well, another media channel. And X was available during that time. It used to be called as Twitter, LinkedIn. These media were talking about it, the losses of such out having such outage from Meta. You all remember that? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So that's the power I'm talking about here. So in case when we say that consider this training itself as a project, it means that if Zoom is down, imagine in that fact of matter, Zoom gets down, can we still not have our classes? We will have our project ongoing. Our classes happen. How we may have our classes still be like that?
Google Meet,
Google
WhatsApp.
Meet.
Alternate.
We have
Alternate.
options. So tools are not that important. Okay. So if Zoom is down, tools are not that important. Even when we say that we have to have the processes that it has to be only PPT sharing, okay? Really, is it going to be PPT sharing? If I can go, I can literally create everything while live classes are going on. So the process is not just important that after first slide, I'm going to go on second slide. No, I have to instill the concept in your mind in a way that you become job ready. So again, processes are not that important. What is important? To whom you I am interacting. Okay. Are you individual? Am I giving deep attention to you all or not? Am I not interacting with you all? So when I say that, do you feel that I'm in touch with you? I'm interacting with you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
here it comes with the first step. Guys, just give me a second. I need to take one urgent critical. Hello? Hello? All right. So this was for the very first one. For the rest three one, I would like to invite Prerna from here to take this up. So Prerna, may I invite you? I have approved the remote request.
Hey, hi, Gaurav. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, I had requested for screen share and I got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, first
So
one,
again,
first bullet point
yeah,
is done. You have to take from
yeah,
the.
yes, absolutely. So once again, and I would like to give a warm welcome to Seep. Seep, welcome to this amazing transformation journey where it's not only about learning the course, but ensuring that our careers take a positive U-turn or positive turn, in any regard. So welcome here. And in case you feel that you're not understanding anything or you need more, I mean, this is for all, not only for Seep, but only because it's her first day. I am mentioning her, but this goes for all without saying. If you have any doubts in between, you want us to explain something more, or the concept is not so clear to you, it's my humble request. Please, mention that then and there. We will take a pause and we will go in detail and ensure that you get that clarity. Yeah, everybody with me on this, guys? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you so much for your responses. So now, I know this is the most interesting part of Agile. That is what I would like to call it. Interesting means herein we really get to understand what is Agile. On what I would say base the Agile is built upon, on what background the Agile is built upon. So all these things are very important and particularly very simple to understand. Okay, there is nothing that is full of jargon or that is not understood by layman, to be very honest. These are, as you can see, the wordings are so simple. Gaurav just explains us the first topic, wherein even after reading the first line we had a clue that here, the focus is on individuals and people than following processes or following any particular tools or equipments or softwares. Okay. And he gave us a very good clarity on that. Second point is, which is a tricky one. Okay. I'll come to the tricky part later. We are saying working software over comprehensive documentation. Okay. Now, everybody understands what is a working software.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That simply
Yes.
means that simply means thank you. That simply means that any software or any machinery or any application that you're working on, it's completely working fine. That's the simplest meaning of working software. Okay, first and foremost. But what we are saying, we are kind of comparing it. So we are saying working software over comprehensive documentation. Now, I think we have a clear understanding about documentation. Documentation means to document anything and everything regarding the project, just note down all the important details, who are the stakeholders. There are a variety of documents or that needs to be or that are required in a project, and we will learn them in due course of time. But as of now, what we are focusing is comprehensive documentation. So when I say comprehensive documentation it means too much in detail or containing all the possibilities which are, to be very honest, not required in Agile. Okay. What Agile says that instead of kind of investing your time in too much of documentation, in too much of theory, let's get our hands dirty and start working on the application. So here, so is basically like during our final exams, was it in a way okay to not have your books complete, or was it okay to not give your final exam? I'm just talking about exceptional basis, as in, were you marked as pass if you did not sit for the exam, or if you did not maybe complete your book in a very, I would say, articulate manner or very in detail manner? Still you were failed for that, or it was like okay, or maybe under a exemption that okay, though your book is not complete but you are appeared for the exam, you got good grades, so you were passed? So what was example, giving the exam or writing in the book in super detail?
Giving the
What do you
exam.
think?
Giving the exam.
Giving the exam.
Giving
Giving the
the
exam, right? Because that was
Yes.
the ultimate source of your gradation, ultimate source. And then I'm not saying that completing books was anywhere less important, but then it was not a decision maker. Same way, we are not saying that documentation is not required. We are saying comprehensive documentation. That means we don't want us a team to have, I would say, engage in just documentation for per se, 5 days out of the 10 days sprint that they have. Okay. And now comes the tricky part. Now let me ask you a question. It's a yes or no question. Okay. That is documentation required in Agile? Yes or no? Just think for some time and then answer. Is
Yes.
documentation required in Agile? Yes or no? Okay, I got one
yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Okay.
Yes.
Now the question twister. Is extensive or comprehensive documentation required in Agile?
No.
Not
No.
really. No.
No.
Absolutely right. I'm so glad. I really want to like give a round of applause to you guys because it is a trick question. People who are working in Agile, because you know what happens, we get so kind of, I would say, taken carried away with this thought that okay, no documentation. No, we are not saying no documentation. Required documentation wherever we need some, maybe functional specification document or business requirement document and some use cases or some risk register, whatever documentation your project might be following, all those documentation which is required, that should be done. But instead of going too much crazy over documentation. Make sense? Any doubt in this point? Easy to understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. Now, let us go ahead and on the third point. Now, these are, by the way, the manifesto. Manifesto means on these thoughts, on these, I would say, building blocks, the agile is standing tall and steady. The third point is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Okay. Now, I would really like to take a diversion here to give you an understanding. Okay. So what are we saying that even though you have a contract, you have some things mentioned, that is absolutely fine, but your customer collaboration is quite important. Now, the example that I would like to give you is, if at all, I think we all know that marriage itself is a contract. Are you aware about it? Anybody
Yes.
with a law background or basic commerce? It was there in commerce also. So, yes. So, marriage basically is a contract. Okay. And that's why we kind of get annulment or divorce on paper, because it's a paper document. We also get a marriage certificate with evidences and all, and we also can get annulment or divorce. Okay. But you tell me, only because you have a certificate of marriage, and if your spouse or if your partners are not collaborative, or you don't have any coordination or any affection or any relation, does that marriage can be called as valid? I'm not asking from legal point of view, I'm asking for normal routine life point of view. Or will you consider that marriage is marriage only because you have a marriage certificate?
No.
No.
Why? We have contract negotiation. But is there a collaboration? Is there a teamwork? Is there a coordination? Now, this is an extreme example. I don't expect you to give this example in interviews, but just to clear your head, okay? Just to have that understanding. I know this could have been on a serious or a lighter note, but this is a fact, right? Why and why I
Yes.
gave you this example? See, imagine if you have your, you know, contract says that the TAT for any high issue is 1 day. Okay, 1 day is a TAT. TAT means whatever the time duration you have to complete, or you fix that issue. Okay, for high is generally less. So it's 1 day. Okay, so but then somehow that issue was critical and it was tough. It was it took some time for you to fix, and you fixed it in 1.5 days. Like you took 1 day and you also take next 0.5 days. Now, honestly, as per the document, as per the negotiation, as per the contract, the customer can find a penalty, and most of the times they do. But if you really have good cordial relationship with the customer, trust me, they are also people. They also want their work to get done from you. They will understand and they will let it go. But this should not be a daily scenario. That's a different story. So what we are trying to say here is that if you have a, and then again on a second note, if you have a deadline of 2 months and you could see that the work can be completed in 45 days, okay, and if you have very good customer relations, so will you still drag the work till 2 months, or will you be cordial enough and decent enough to tell them that okay, we can complete this work in 45 days? I'm telling you, this is on a very fair and justice environment. Okay, we are not going from a very commercial and money minded. We are telling from the facts and skills and virtues and values point of view. And then to be very honest, nowadays the customers are also intelligent enough. They understand how much work you are doing. So even if you're stretching, or if and even if you are just giving them false deadlines, they will understand that. So if you can complete some work within maybe earlier, you can go to the customer and you can tell them and deliver that. So but then you cannot say, you should not say that okay, we have 2 months and I'm going to take this full 2 months. Generally people do that, but then what we are saying in agile, because the time limit is so crucial, so crisp, so tight, we focus on the customer's understanding. Sometimes there are some requirements which are mentioned in the documents, and then customer might want a tweak, might want a change, might want something that won't affect your budget, that won't affect your timelines much, but then it is a deviation. It is a deviation. Okay. Will you do it or not? Or do you say, or will you say, no, it is not mentioned in the contract. I'm not going to do that. What do you think? As a
We will do
businessman,
it.
The
as a team
relation,
No,
member?
we will do
the
it.
relationship with the
Will
customer is
do.
good. We will definitely try to.
Definitely. If the relationship is not good, you will not only do, you will not even do what they're
Yes,
asking you, right?
Exactly.
And you'll be like,
exactly.
it's just like how you're angry and your mother tells you to fold the clothes. I've seen, because I myself have folded the clothes the way they're like horrible. They're like, mother is like, why are you even doing that for sake? Better you kind of squeeze that, stuff in your cupboard. So it's just like that. If you are on a positive note, if you are cordial, you tend to do better and perform better. And that should not be limited by any contract or any document. Okay. That's a, I would say, bigger or a higher level understanding that I want to give you from business point of view. And always remember this. See, we always say, customer comes first, customer is the king. We have a reason for that. Ultimately, if they are happy, they are satisfied, they will bring you more business. And trust me, it is always about business. It is always about people. It is never about the applications and never about the trends. It's always about the customers. If they like you, if they're happy, they will come back, and they will come back multifolded. Yeah, makes sense. Any doubt in this point? Please try to remember
No.
the marriage example, but please do not give that
No.
example anywhere, because that would not be
Okay.
considered everywhere. And that was just for your understanding. So I'm glad I could help. Next point is, yes, responding to change over following a plan. Okay. So again, this has a very close connection with the point which we explained earlier. And I would like to give you a very simple and easy example. Okay. So imagine you have a birthday party, maybe your kids or your niece and nephews, any small member in your family, and they wanted a chocolate cake, and you give an order for, per se, 3 or 4 kg chocolate cake for the birthday party to a particular good bakery. And it's a made to order customized cake. And then and then maybe just prior to the birthday or whatever frenzy they got in, they just say, I want to have a Kit Kat chocolate cake. Though it's a chocolate cake, but I want to have a Kit. Everybody knows, right? The Kit Kat chocolate cake. They make a fence of Kit Kat, or they might have some decoration with the Kit Kat chocolate. Okay, it's a very not so great. Change, but it is a change. So then you know that your kid is adamant and it's their birthday or it's your little one's birthday. You really want to have that moment special. You call the bakery and you tell them, or you call the cakery, you can call it. So you tell them that, okay, there is this deviation, will you be able to do that? Will be great. What do you think, or what would make you happy? As in, if they say no, we gave you order for that, so they might definitely charge you more because the Kit Kat would be added above the cake, right? But then if they say no, you told us and we are not going to make it, we take only order once, and you this is brush you off. And second scenario, they say, yeah, let me see, we'll work on that, we'll give you the revised or one invoice in some time. Which scenario, first or second scenario, makes you feel better?
Second scenario.
Second.
Why that made you better? Why?
They are ready
Simple.
to
Because they didn't deny it at
accept the change.
once.
Yeah.
Didn't deny it, and you
Ul-
want you go. Go ahead.
Ultimately, the child is going to be happy. So that's
Yes, ultimately, child is gonna be happy. Yes,
Happy.
that is what you want. They
But what if
responded to
there's
your
not
change.
enough time to make those changes?
Yeah, that's why I said one day prior. My close cousin is a home baker, so I know when to give when to give the changes. Because I just gave a change some days back, and it was like last minute, but she could accommodate. That's why I said you're absolutely right. It was a one day prior ensuring. That's what I'm saying. Why this point, guys? That there would be changes. Okay, there would be requirement updates. There would be some things that might not go as planned, but then we need to see how they are affecting. Okay, in this scenario per se, if you have told them, okay, if you have told them on the day of the birthday, no, I don't want chocolate cake, I want maybe the cheesecake, or I want something different, then they would definitely not agree to it. Or maybe they will charge you for both, one for cancellation and one for new cake, right? So we are saying, and same way, customer is also not always, I'm using the word not always, okay? Not always. Sometimes they are. They are not always irrational. Okay. Sometimes they do have their own, I would say, limitations or their own requirements internally. They have their own stakeholders to answer, and that's why they come up with changes in the last minute. So that time, it is a very pleasant scenario if we could accommodate that. Again, we have to tell them the consequences if that will take time. See, I said, right, if they are going to make Kit Kat cake, they will send us revised invoice, because the Kit Kat is an addition to on and above the cost of a normal chocolate cake, right? So same way, if you're doing some change, if you're responding to any particular change of our customer, we have to evaluate that. It is not a blind yes. Again, we will check if is it affecting our timelines? Okay, not much. Is it affecting our budget? Okay, not too much. Is it affecting our resource availability? No. Then still you can tell them, okay, this will be a revised cost, or this will be an additional cost. But imagine if they're asking for something, in my words, I call it, the customers ask for sun and moon. Okay. And sometimes, trust me, they do, especially the one who do not have a technical background or who are very naive. They ask for things which are not even practical. It might be imaginary, or it might be a design thing. So in that scenario, we have to be upfront, we have to be practical, we have to come forward and just tell them that, guys, we understand this is your requirement, but this is not feasible. We try to work it out, but it is not feasible, and you have to be very subtle and polite and humble and very respectful. That goes without saying in any corporate event or any corporate interaction. Okay. And then it is until their understanding that they need to accept that, or they whatever the take they take. But here, why we are focusing on this, that agile allows you to be flexible. There is no rigidity. Understand rigid, right? You're not stubborn. You're not saying no, 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 whatever it is, told we are going to do that. No, in real life also, you plan for some vacation and you go to a particular place and you have high hopes about visiting some, maybe any particular event or any particular, I would say, monument or location, and then you realize that that was not so happening. But somehow you just get some other, maybe some outlet or some restaurant or some other garden that is really very interesting. Doesn't it happen with you guys? I mean, it does happen with me. Trust me. Does it happen or not in real life? Yes or no? That you go to any
Yes.
place. Yes, it does, right?
Yes.
Because we really have high expectation of about a particular thing, and then it just turned out to be not so great. But then you come up with something else. So do you say, no, no, I planned for this, I'm only gonna go there and I'm gonna come back? No, right?
No.
So just think from real life point of view. We have to be as much realistic and practical while learning and studying agile as we do in real life. Now, I think we have given enough in detail time on the manifestos. Anyone has any doubts in there, please feel free. You still feel there is some explanation required, or you are not clear about any particular point? Because now we'll go to principles which are kind of built on these manifesto, or I would say they are furthermore drilling down on of these manifestos itself. Go ahead. Anyone? Or if you don't have, please unmute and say we are good or okay, we can go ahead. No doubts. Anything that comes to your mind. Please. That would
Yeah, we
really
are
help.
good.
We're good.
I'm good.
Good. Everyone? Yes, I'm not checking
Yes.
who said or not, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of I would say women power. I mean, there are guys. I'm not saying there are less comparatively, but even the voice is also a little low. I mean, I could hear only, I don't know, maybe Vijay or Syed only in between. But I really think we have a majority of girls here, which I'm liking personally. So yeah, no offense to boys, sorry, but yes. So the point of saying all this is, please be interactive. We love to check, or we love to get your reviews, because see, one example that might be clear to one person might not have that much clarity or might not give that much clarity to other. So the only reason of me and Gaurav keep checking you in between about how you are understanding what you want to know, any doubts, is that once this session is over, we want you to have that understanding that, okay, yeah, this was an interesting stuff, and it was really nice, or maybe I just learned something new. It should not be like that. Okay, I'm sleepy and I do not know what happened this 1.5 hours. No, guys, time is very important. We know you are taking out time from your daily busy schedule, so we want to make the best of it. Yeah. So that was it. Now let us understand and learn agile
Uh,
principles.
Prerna, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but if you can just
Mm-hmm.
go back to the previous slide once.
Sure.
So the third point, we were discussing about
Mm-hmm.
customers who are like, you have a good rapport with, and uh, who are ready to listen to our updates and everything. So we did touch upon customers who are not like cordial with us, or
Okay.
let's say
Now,
on the
now
verge
let
of,
me.
yeah,
I know, on the verge of leaving us or
yeah,
have a nice
yeah,
argument of it. So honestly, no. I gave you an example wherein we assume that the relations are cordial. But even see, if a customer comes to you first time, do you even have a relationship with them at first? You build a relationship, right?
right,
So
right.
it's plainly says customer collaboration. If they are good with you, that's a bonus. You give them freebies, you give them free cookies. Free cookies means you give them extra feature just because you are, you known each other for long and stuff, and you have good relations. But if somebody is coming for the first time, or even any customer is tough, or they are really not cordial, they are argumentative, they are just difficult, in plain English. Still, you try to be collaborative. Still, you don't say no to them. But always remember 3 points: timelines, budget, and resources. It has to be within your reach also. You will not go into losses to make any customers happy. That is not your ultimate goal. So we keep on highlighting that we have to ensure that customers are happy, they are satisfied, but not at the cost of your organization's, business. Because if there is no profit or no business, that customer anyways will not gonna be viable for long. So here, while taking the example or explanation, we talked about having cordial relationship, but even if it is a new customer without any relationship yet formed, or it is a tough or difficult customer, it is our duty from our point of view as agile practitioners that we have to build a collaborative environment instead of telling them straight no, it is not in the contract. Now you tell me again, going back to the earlier example of marriage. If you go for an arranged marriage, do you know the other person that well? Right? So we can't say that we are collaborative and cordial and cooperative at the beginning. But as the relationship evolves and it develops, we create that bond. Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
or do we say that
Yes.
it
Yes.
is said in the agreement that you will
Yeah.
make tea for me, make tea for me. If one fine day, I'm just this is on a very lighter and funnier ground. If it's in one day your spouse is ill, do you still force them to go and cook? No, no, it's fine. You can take out, or you can make a simple khichdi, or you can help them out. So that's what we are trying to say. We are just saying do not be rigid in any relationships. That's what.
But
Is
Prerna,
it
what
clear
if?
now? Mm-hmm. Go ahead,
Yeah, I
Sayed.
mean, yeah. So let's say, I mean, if you stuck in a situation where customer really
Mm-hmm.
wants to implement that in real life scenario, if they really
Mm-hmm.
want to have that new feature added, and you do not have those
Mm-hmm.
resources, enough resources or enough time to implement
Mm-hmm.
those. So what will
Mm-hmm.
be the best way to I mean, to
Yeah, a
come out
very
from that
good question,
situation?
Sayed. Very good and practical question again. So, see, resource crunch can always be managed. As an organization level, we have a resource pool, and even if we don't have any resources, we kind of borrow slash hire them. Hire means if you're not able to
Outsource.
hire from directly from market, outsource. Yeah, absolutely right. That's one thing. Second, now, budget is a constraint, okay, because you're not going to spend out of pocket. If that particular project requires some applications or requires some subscriptions that needs to be bought, we have to come and tell the customer. It's like, will a bakery bake a cheesecake for you in the cost of plain tea time cake? No, right? They will not spend out of their pocket. Why would they? They're here to make money. They're here for the business, not for the charity. Same way, if there are budget and time, resource can be managed. Even time to an extent by adding external resources. I'm saying to an extent, okay, being very practical. Though it's tough, it's not that they are laborers or we are robots, we need to
But
have our enough
Prerna,
breaks and
adding a resource at the last minute, yeah, even though you can afford it, but adding a resource at the last moment, for example, if you have adding a last the developer at the last moment, and
hmm
then you have to explain him what are you guys all the work you have done, and then he will start working. Do you think it's practically is possible that the new resource will start right away and catch the team right away? I mean,
I'm saying we if their resource if the requirement requires additional resource and additional time, we have to convey that. See,
hmm
time, I'm saying to an extent we can manage, but as you're saying that if it is that crucial, and if we really have such a less amount of time and bringing in someone, yes, they will have their onboarding time, they will have their time to adjust and start delivering, and that needs to be communicated. Rather, we should emphasize that, okay, for your this requirement, we're getting somebody new. So that cost is first of all on you, and the time also need to be borne. You have to, right? Because see, you I mean, I was really getting a weird example, but you need 9 months of pregnancy to deliver, right? It's as simple as that. I'm sorry I'm saying in these words, but in sometimes I have been there, okay? I have worked as a project manager, and trust me, sometimes the days are not so great. It's really they exhaust you to a limit that you have to explain in these terms. So you are coming from an absolutely valid point. Will that resource start delivering? No, not as per the earlier resources who were in the project, and that needs to be communicated. If the client is okay with that, well and good, go ahead with the extra cost. If no, then Very nice saying, no means no. But then again, polite, humble, and soft man. Because they bring business to you, and because of them, you're in the market. And see, it's very practical. Sometimes there are things which you just can't do. Can't do means they're not feasible, they are not within the budget, and they are not practical. You have to say no because you are the expert. These all points we're focusing so much from agile point of view. So when I say in agile, I say that okay, I consider customer at best, I consider their requirement, but then within my limitations, that is of cost, timelines, and resources. Make sense? Have I answered your question?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. See, this is what I'm saying. If you have any real life, and trust me, guys, this happens in real life. It is not theoretical. I've been there and experienced that it is not an easy scenario. There are situations when you really have to stand on your ground, when you really have to put your foot down and make some take some decisions, make some I won't say arguments but discussions, and put your point forward. Yeah, because ultimately if you're like getting lost from that situation, nobody is going to support you, trust me on that. So you better ensure that that is not happening. Okay, now let us understand the agile principles. When I say principles, what all I mean. So there are 12 principles on which agile can be understood in a much better way. You might get better clarity about the earlier points in the upcoming principles as well. Okay, you might get these points easy, and you might feel they are comparatively lighter than the manifesto, because manifesto was just one sentence of just words, but here we have in detail explanation. Okay, let us go one by one. I'll request four different people to read out 4 points mentioned on the screen, please.
Customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. Customers are happier when they receive working software at regular intervals rather than waiting extended periods of time between releases.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear the last part. We are done with all the 4 points? Yes,
No,
One
just
no?
point.
one.
Just one
One.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go to second, third, and fourth as well. Then I'll go on the slide. Yeah. That's what I
Accommodate
thought. It was
changing
quick.
requirements.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Accommodate changing requirements throughout the development process. The ability to avoid delay when a requirement or future required changes. Request changes.
Next
Frequent
point.
delivery of working software. Scrum accommodates this principle since the team operates in software sprints or iterations that ensure regular delivery of working software.
Collaboration between the business stakeholders and developers throughout the project. Better decisions are made when the business and technical team are aligned.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize I was on mute. I was speaking already. So what we are saying here is customer satisfaction through early and continuous software delivery. Now, trust me, early is not always a scenario because we're already in a very strict timelines. But then continuous software delivery. So I think everyone present here yesterday, remember that example of building your house? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Can any one of you just explain that in simple words so that Steve can get context? Anyone. It's fine if you are absolutely right or no. I just want to understand what you understood by this point. just to get clarity for C, and then I will explain. Anyone wants to try?
Yeah, I can go
What was
ahead.
the gist? Yeah, go ahead, please. Thank you.
So when we are making our house, so we want to see, what's happening in there and if we like a feature or not, if we want to make a change. So when we are building a house, so it is always easier to go in and make those changes early on rather than, if the thing is already built and then you have to, break that thing and rebuild that will, have more expenses and your timeline will increase in that way.
I'm so glad you explained in such a nice manner. Thank you so much, Shweta. So that
You're
is what
welcome.
we are trying to say. Whenever something is being created, built, or developed, as a customer, we want it to be a part of it. Okay. There was a scenario by the way, see, please watch yesterday's video. You'll get better understanding because it was a elaborated example, elaborative, sorry, but now I'll just give you some context in this point regard. Okay. What I'm
Yes.
saying is that, like, if we are working on something, for example, if you give some work to others, like, building a house or building a furniture and stuff like that, would you like to get involved in the process? Like, they come and checking to check with you, is it the color okay? Is the shape okay? Is it fine? Or you would like to get the final product and that might not be the way you want, or it might not be within the timelines that you want. What would you prefer? To be engaged or to be shocked at the end?
To be involved in the process.
Right. So that is what we are saying. We are saying here that the customer satisfaction can be delivered through continuous software delivery. So here a perfect ideal example is if you have a website like Amazon.com. Okay, everybody knows Amazon.com here. Anyone here doesn't know Amazon? No. Everybody knows Amazon. Please say yes,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
great. Okay, everyone knows Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think the Amazon was developed overnight or 1 month? By the way, as far as my knowledge goes, Amazon was created to sell books only in the beginning. Initially, the whole purpose of building that application or website was to sell books. Do you know or do we know what all they sell today? I mean, in my words, I see they sell from pin to piano, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
imagine if you have a website like Amazon to be built upon, you gave that in a requirement to an organization. So would you wait for maybe a year or two or maybe 6 months for it to develop? Or would you like to go maybe section wise? Wait a second, guys. Or would you like to go section wise wherein, okay, let us go ahead with men's clothing, then let us go ahead with kids clothing, section by section, then go by women's apparel, then go by household material, or then go by automobiles, then go by mobiles, then go by furnishing, like section by section by section. So would you like to see that actually happening and developing, or would you like to wait till and in a blind stare and you're not aware about what is happening?
Yeah, we'll go in the increments.
Absolutely. So that is what the first point says. Okay, that customers are happier when they receive working software at regular intervals. Regular intervals is like sprints that we have in Agile and that we have in Scrum, 15 days or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever time we decide, time interval, and we keep delivering into that. Okay, next point is accommodate changing requirements throughout the development process. Do I need any explanation in this? Do I have to give any
No.
doubt in this? We
No, it's related to
are
first one. Yeah.
perfect. I would not say
Yeah.
obliged, but it is our duty to ensure that we can accommodate their changes in the development process. Again, with respect to time, money, I mean, budget, time, and resources. Always remember this. Yeah. Frequent delivery of working software. Now, it is just absolute I would say replica or similar to the first point. When you're doing continuous delivery, it's like frequency. The only emphasis that we have is we have to stick to the iterations. That means in first iteration, if I'm giving a kids apparels or kids section completely done, I need to ensure I have the same pace. I should not do next interval or next scrum. I only give maybe login or maybe something very simple. No, I have to have that pace. They will ask you. It's just like that, if your exams are coming and if you are like you've completed per se, uh, maybe English lit in like 4 days. Okay, hypothetical. All disclaimers, guys. Don't take personally. So you completed English literature in 4 days, for example, and then came algebra, and you are taking 10 days. Okay, will your parents be chill with it? They're like, why? You should have same, or will you be happy with it because you have other subjects also to take care of, right? To study. So same way here, frequent delivery of working software means not only delivering but having the consistent pace or consistency in the deliverables. Everybody with me on this? Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Okay.
Yes.
And the last point, I don't think I need further explanation, but only because the word stakeholders is there, I will elaborate. So we are saying there has to be collaborative, cordial, cooperative, relations or coordination, collaboration between business stakeholders and developers. Now, earlier we were talking about only customer. Now we're talking about business stakeholders. Anyone here, can they tell me what does a stakeholder mean or who is a stakeholder? What do you think who is a stakeholder? It's
A
very
person
simple.
who has
Product
stake
owner.
in the business, like a shareholder, kind of.
Business
Sorry,
No.
partner.
sorry. Okay, you're saying shareholder, business partner. Somebody was saying something else. Go ahead. It's fine. Just clear your mind. Go ahead.
Person who has a say in the project.
Sorry, person within same.
No,
Who has to
no.
say
Oh,
in the
who's
project?
So the parties which are involved
Okay.
in the whole project process, I'm just saying
Mm.
in a layman way. So let's say the customers, or let's say, our developers, they would be the stakeholders for us.
I'm so
So the
glad you all
Or
gave. Yeah, go ahead. Go
the
ahead.
decision
Please,
person
please.
making person.
Person, sorry. I don't know why I'm just getting this drop. Yeah. Or it
so the
is
Decision
person
making
group or
persons.
organizations.
decision making
Okay,
person. Okay,
making
it's
persons
not
in the
me, guys.
organization.
You all are talking at the same point, same time, so it's very difficult for me to get. Okay,
Yeah.
persons making decision, and next point
Yeah.
somebody was saying in the background. Go ahead.
Yes, the group of organizers, investors who are
Mm-hmm.
directly impacted to the projects
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is
Anyone?
stakeholder.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
so the
You're on track.
parties which
Yeah.
were involved in the project, so like I said, the
Mm-hmm.
customers or the developers, or the people who are making the decisions, all
Mm-hmm.
those people could be the stakeholders.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so glad I asked this. First of all of you are correct. But honestly speaking, cherry on the cake, Seep actually gave the perfect definition or perfect understanding. Okay. Simple funda is, as per my simplest explanation, everyone who has a stake, who has an interest in your project is your stakeholder. So all of you, all the names that you mentioned, everyone. We can start with customers because we are working for them. Yes. Development team. Yes. Shareholders. Yes. Senior management. Yes. Anyone, any other organization supporting your project, like third party resources, you're hiring software for somewhere, hardware for somewhere. Yes. Any organization to whom you're giving charity on your bonus, on your profit making, they are also your stakeholder to an extent. Trust me on that. Okay, so it's need not be, and that's why it is saying business stakeholder. That means, see, sometimes even your senior management is interested in your project because that might be a big project or important client. So everyone who are involved in your project, who are interested in your project, who are kind of connected to your project in some or the other form, need not be directly working on it, so senior management, they don't work in your project, but they have they have a close connection with your performance. So yes, everybody who is involved, they are all stakeholders. And don't worry, we have a dedicated session or chapter on stakeholder management. Okay. Now I see we are dot on time, and I think this is a lot for a first session, for Seep maybe, and for all of you guys for the second. But I think this was interesting, and I would say realistic enough. So I really don't want to bombard you more, and we are almost on time. So I'll request Gaurav to take over, and I think we can take a pause here. So thank you so much, guys, for your feedback, your responses, your questions, everything. I just love it when we have a engaging audience or we have engaging participants. That really brings out the best in all of us. So thank you so much, and over to you, Gaurav.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prerna, and thank you so much, everyone. Now, this is a quick time for quick of your mm, attendance. So, how we are going to take attendance today? I want you all to go back to WhatsApp group, type in your name first, followed by one thing that you feel like saying any after today's session. Means it could be one word, it could be one statement. I want you not to just tell there what did you learn. I want you to tell there that how are you feeling now after today's session. Okay, so and then after reading all of your notes, I'll be just reviewing them, and then we'll be taking your attendance in my separate Excel sheet. So please go ahead and drop in your attendance in the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon, and I would remind you to do your said and unsaid assignment as well. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. Good night. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Thank
Thank
you all.
you. Good night, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.